Now the host.
Here's the living
Whew.
Hey everybody, I just want to welcome everybody to the Halloween edition of Fuck Your Team podcast. And just to remind the Browns that we are coming for y'all on Sunday. Woo!
That's real cool that you dress as a loser for Halloween. I appreciate that.
No, I'd be in orange and brown. I'm in black and gold.
Oh,
Mom, how about
Cheers.
Mom?
cheers.
The
The Palomalo jersey.
Yeah, that I'll respect the Palomalo jersey. I can't. I was gonna say
You have to respect
But I
Palomalo
can't-
jersey.
I can't make fun of the Palomalo jersey.
Good one, Atticus.
Hey, I do what I can. Gentlemen, how are we?
I knew something was up because Atticus never texts me where I am like before a podcast unless something. He doesn't care normally. It's just when he's got something planned.
Well, I scored big on that one, though. Give me credit.
Yeah,
Yes,
no, I'll give you
you
credit.
did.
I want to know how you got that little thing there in the corner on your. It tells me like I don't even know what that's telling me. It just says A.
Oh,
B.
it's one of those filter things. That's all.
Oh, okay, cool. Look at
Okay.
you.
Just some effect.
Look at you.
I don't think the numbers actually move.
No, they don't. They've been the same the whole time.
Good deal.
Right, you know,
Okay.
it's a thing though. Anyway, did you guys watch the game?
I did
Yes.
not. I saw the highlights.
What do you shake your head for, Lloyd? We got it right. We predicted that.
We got it almost to a T right. I think
almost to a T.
the score was off a little bit. We both picked the Packers. We both said it was going to be close. I said Aaron Jones was going to run loose. I forgot they still had AJ Dillon. So combined 151 on the ground. I still think that Jones should have had that second touchdown. It looked like he didn't hit the line, but like I couldn't say 100% he didn't hit the line.
I
Like
would
the
say
ball was weird.
I would say that the thing about it is called a touchdown. It's one of those things where if it had been called the other way, right?
Yeah.
If they would have said no touchdown on the field, then yeah, there's not enough to say he did score a touchdown. But since they scored a touchdown, I didn't see enough to where they could overturn it. But
Yeah, but they still did, which was odd.
Yeah.
Kind of threw everybody off.
Yeah.
Rodgers did enough Rodgers. And I'll tell you what, both of them have pretty solid defenses, man.
yeah,
You know, both of them have pretty solid defenses.
the one thing
Except
I mean,
for whoever. No, that was a receiver. My bad. Never mind.
the one thing I'm getting tired about with Rodgers is it's him, it's Brady. It's like anytime there's a new receiver, we literally have to hear for half the game how he doesn't have trust in that receiver yet. And he's got to catch the ball to build. It's like, come on, man, we're professionals. Like, I get it. Like, it's just funny. It's him, it's Brady. It's Russell Wilson to a little bit. Although Russell Wilson plays with great receivers, you don't hear it as much with him, but every time.
Is that his fault though, or is that just Troy Aikman being a dumbass?
Well, it's Troy Aikman. Okay, so I'm not tired with Rodgers in that respect. I'm just tired of every time it's Rodgers playing and there's a new receiver on the field, I guess I should say.
You know, I mean, I wish there was some way that you could pick what announcers you wanted.
Oh,
Like-
God.
You know they're on radio stations, right? Like, so everybody's got a home team radio call. Like, I would much rather listen to Merrill Reese and Mike Quick call a game than anybody that they put out there. That's just
Right.
like, I can't stand it. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman annoy the fuck out of
Me too. Same.
me. And Troy never used to, but I don't know. He said some dumb shit last night.
Last night, all year, he's the new booger. You kidding me? I can't stand him, bro. And not for nothing, you nailed it. Troy, used to be the only palatable one.
Yeah,
Now he's not even palatable.
I know what it was. The dude, so whoever 19 is on the Packers. So on the initial play, they're like, Rodgers tried to hit Cobb. Buck actually got it right on the replay, and it was like whatever dude it was. And then Aikman said, well, he's got so much trust in Cobb, he just figured he could throw it in there. You're a fucking dumbass, dude.
It's
You're
funny.
a dumbass.
During the game, I said that same thing. I'm like, but he didn't throw it to Cobb because, like, not just her favorite Packer, but just favorite. Like, if she could ditch me and date Randall Cobb, like it wouldn't even be like a second thought. Liesel loves Randall Cobb, so I'm viscerally aware of where Randall Cobb is on the field at all times because she zeroes in on him. And so yeah, during that, I know exactly what you're talking about because I was like, but he didn't throw it to Randall Cobb; he threw it to the other guy. So
like if that was the initial call, I would have been like, okay, easy mistake, 19-18, got the numbers a little confused, but like. It was on the second replay, and Joe Buck had already corrected himself on the broadcast.
The whole talking point he then had was based off of the wrong thing. Like
yes.
He talked for like 2 minutes about it.
Yeah, he did. And I don't know what AJ Green was doing at the end of the game, but it looked like he was watching the screen.
Not his job.
He was watching the screen. You can see his eyes watching something. So he's obviously watching the screen. And then I had to shut it off when Steve Smith and Michael Irvin tried to make excuses for him. He figured, it wasn't going to him. He thought it was a run. I was shut the fuck up. He was watching the screen.
He took the play off is what he did. Regardless of what he took the play off. For whatever reason, he decided that was the play he was going to take off. And the way the play happened, like Liesel started going nuts, but we're watching. I'm going, what? Did someone blow a whistle? Like it was the weirdest thing I'd ever seen to end a game.
If Green was paying attention, he wins that 99 out of 100 times. That's a touchdown if he's paying attention, and they win the game. End of story. Right? Like just terrible play to end the game. Kudos to the Packers. Kudos to us for calling it.
Who did you have before that game, Atticus?
I would have picked Arizona. You know why? Because they were home. That's it.
Yeah.
And I almost went that route, right? And then we started talking about some things. And Green Bay they were 6-0 before last night without Adams.
Yeah, they're 7-0.
Now they're 7-0 without Adams. And I just had this, we started talking about it. And I was like, Aaron Jones they're going to run. They're going to run the ball, right? Like they haven't really had to run the ball this year. And they got a couple, they got Aaron Jones. Turns out I forgot about AJ Dillon, but still worked out pretty well for him.
And you got to remember they still have Aaron Rodgers. And he's just unbelievable when you need him to be unbelievable.
Yeah. I think if Hopkins plays the entire game, then it's a different ball game. Hopkins didn't play. He played like the first play and then in the fourth quarter.
Well, and the interesting thing about Hopkins is they were saying he checked himself in. Like that wasn't the coach sending him in. He just said, nope, I'm going in.
Yeah.
And so that was interesting. I don't really know because he didn't look particularly injured the entire game. He just was on the sideline, but apparently it was serious enough because he had that one catch for 54 yards and then that was it. He was out the rest of the game basically. And it's interesting, if he was able to be on that last play, AJ Graydon wouldn't have been in on that last play, right? So
ball would have been going to Hopkins as it should, but
yeah,
still a good game. Good defenses. They're going to see each other in the playoffs, most likely.
Liesel's staring at me over the computer monitor. Make sure everything we say is factually correct.
Just smiling.
Just smiling, she says.
It's a good Friday.
Is it factually correct? Are we okay?
Not at me. I mean, I am dressed up because we're going out we have a date night after this. I can't say where we're going because she doesn't know, but Yeah, we're going out after this. So
So let's
Pack,
make it snappy. Go Packers.
there it is.
Thank you.
Go Pack, go. I will
Let's,
say the one other little thing, and we kind of touched on it. Arizona does not have a home field advantage.
No,
That stadium was half Packers fans at least.
at least.
At least. Now I know the Packers can travel better than just about any other team. Like, you know, maybe I mean, Cowboy fans will travel. They're kind of as far as like making noise and whatnot, but they will travel. But I'd say, I mean, as much as I hate to say it, the Steelers are probably the only other fan base.
Now, Steelers and Cowboys travel well.
Yeah.
Eagles travel well. Giants travel well. Like when at least to Dallas they do,
And the Tampa.
and to Tampa.
That's because
You know.
everyone retires from New York and comes down.
I know they go down
Raiders. Did we say the Raiders already?
there.
They
Oh,
travel well.
Yeah, they travel well. They do.
But
You know who doesn't?
like, so the funny thing,
The
when I lived in
Chargers.
Arizona and went to games, and like I ran a bar like 3 blocks from Arizona Stadium, the old Sun Devil Stadium, and every football weekend home game was like it was like I was in a different city every week. Like this week it would be Dallas. Like, so it felt like I was in Dallas. Then the next week it would be another team. And then like they were far outnumbered by the visiting team every single week.
Mm.
It's terrible. They were 7-0 and they got blown out of their own, their own stadium. It's crazy.
Well, that's what happens when you're in a city of transplants. But anyway, so I think the big takeaway from that game is AJ Green might be a free agent within the next couple of weeks. I don't know how you come back from that, but I mean, it is just one game for them. They are 7-1, 7-1.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not like the end of the world, but it just feels like
their obvious flaws.
yeah, they had obvious flaws that got exposed, and AJ Green, yikes.
He was
Take a
having
pay
a
cut.
decent. He made some decent catches up until that point. He had
Yeah.
a decent game as a third option. He was having a decent game, right? I forget exactly what he did, but like you can't end a game like that, man.
Yeah.
5
So
for
anyway.
50.
So anyway, let's kick it into the week. Obviously, we'll get to the Browns Steelers in a minute.
Let's
So
just
the
run
interesting
down. Let's
game-
just run down the list, man. Let's just go down the list.
All right, so we'll
Run
start
it.
at the top here.
If
So
it-
we'll do quick picks on some of these because some of these we don't really need to dive into a whole lot. So the first one up is that I'm seeing is Panthers at Falcons. Panthers are sliding. Falcons are actually on a little bit of a winning streak right now. I think they've won 3 in a row. I like the Falcons in this. I don't know what's up with the Panthers. I don't think the Panthers really have an identity without McCaffrey. I think maybe there's more to Sam Darnold not being a good quarterback besides playing in the New York Jets system. And I don't think I think it'll be a close game, but I think the Falcons will end up winning this one and move to 500.
I think it's more to it than that, but all of your points I agree with. Teddy Bridgewater, upon leaving the Carolina Panthers, he did an interview and he said that he doesn't understand what they're doing in Carolina. They don't practice red zone. They don't practice 2-minute drills. And when they do, it'll be about 10 plays combination of both scenarios. And people were saying, damn, you got like talk about sour grapes. This guy gets cut and gets a deal with, or traded rather, to Detroit because they picked up Sam Darnold, and all he does is badmouth his former team. And now they're saying, you know what? There might have been something to what Teddy Bridgewater's saying. So I think that there's a lot of dysfunction in Carolina, and it showed. Sam Darnold got benched last week. I don't know that it was all his fault, because when you look at the tape, there were some passes where he really tried to he tried to do some Patrick Mahomes type throws to get it to his receivers, and it just wasn't happening. And it's probably because they don't practice enough and they don't practice the right way. On the flip side, Atlanta, I think, was better than they started off with. When they started the season and Philly gave them a Broad Street beatdown, people were like, what the fuck's going on? Because we had Philly way down here when it comes to expectations, but not Atlanta somewhere in the middle, or where they'll probably end up anyway. I think Atlanta's a little better than people gave them credit for. And listen, Patterson is a monster, an absolute specimen that any one of us would love to have him on our teams. And that the Atlanta Falcons are getting hot when you need them to get hot. The Panthers are going in the complete opposite direction. And you brought up McCaffrey. McCaffrey and Saquon are like the same. They're always injured, but they're great when they're not, right? And you hate to say it, but it's the truth. And then when they're not playing, what do? You have to rework your. Listen, Carolina's a mess. Atlanta's going to win this game, and it probably won't even be close.
I got nothing to add, man. It's a quick pick for me. Atlanta wins this game, right? I agree with everything you said. I think they probably have the best athlete on the field in Pitts. He's starting to come through and starting to really shine out a little bit. So I think it's a done deal. I'll take it back to coaching.
They're better coached also. I was going to say that too. Yeah.
So.
All right, so that's a clean sweep for the Falcons. The next game up is Dolphins at Bills.
What page are you on? Who are you looking at? ESPN?
Who did I? I just Google NFL. I think it's NFL.com that I end up on.
No, you're not.
Oh no, I'm on Google. I'm sorry. I just Googled the schedule. I just Google NFL games week 8. And
that's fine. We can roll with it.
So the next game up is, like I said, Dolphins at Bills. Bills should cruise in this one. Dolphins are another team without an identity. I don't know what they're trying to do any given week. The one thing I want to say about this game is, considering the Bills are division leading and, in my opinion, still a Super Bowl contender, is there a more ho-hum, like just under the radar division leader? Like, I feel like the Bills get no publicity. Like, maybe the Bengals are the only other team that gets like less pub than the Bills. Because maybe we just expect this of the Bills. We expect them to be where they're at right now. But like, for a 5-2 team that has beaten some quality teams pretty handedly. What'd you say?
4-2.
4-2. I'm sorry, but that's beaten some decent teams like pretty handedly. I mean, say what you want about the Chiefs this year. That's still they got beat by pretty easily by the Bills. I feel like we don't I never hear a lot about them. So, and when I say ho hum, I don't mean like meh. I just mean like you don't hear much about them. They're just out there. I feel like that for 4-2 team leading their division and a Super Bowl contender, I feel they're way under the radar. That's all.
I think you've talked way too long to be talking about this game, right? It's a 14-point spread. They're playing the Dolphins, and maybe that's the problem. Josh Allen's going to have a field day. Enough said.
Won't be close.
It's a 14-point spread.
Yeah. I think they're going to win by at least 17.
See, as always, I'll say the Dolphins keep it within 10 because I don't believe in spread.
Because it's a division game, or
what was the game last week? Who played last week that it was like an 18-point spread or 19-point spread?
I'd have to look.
Who played the Texans? Somebody played it.
Cardinals.
Yeah.
And they won 5-31. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
They're still professional football teams, so I'll say they lose by 10. Next up, this is actually a good game. I got Titans at Colts.
that is a good game.
That's a good game.
Yeah, the surging Colts against the Titans. Now, Colts are 3-4. This would get them to 500. Wentz has come on. I think their defense has stepped up a little bit. Pitts is a sneaky good receiver. They got Wisconsin's own Jonathan Taylor powering that run game. That being said, Jonathan Taylor is no Derrick Henry. I don't think anyone on the planet is Derrick Henry. The best comparison, or the best compliment I've given to an NFL player this year is yesterday when watching the Green Bay game, I kept calling Dylan a mini Derrick Henry. And that's like one of the best compliments I can think to give someone this year. So I just see the Titans winning this one. I just think there's too much. There's just something to that Titans team this year. So I think they beat the Colts at home.
I'm going to go the other way, right? I think that the Colts have a sneaky good defense that no one's talking about. I think the reason that they haven't talked about is because they got out of the gate late. They were, they're 3-3 now, or 3-4. What's their record?
3-4.
3-4. Weren't they like 1-3 or 2-4? So they're climbing back into it. I think they were 0-2.
Yeah.
So, Wentz is playing good football, man. He's playing a lot calmer. He's looking like he did in 2017. I think a lot of it is coaching. I have him as the better quarterback on the field. Like right now, today, I think he's a better quarterback than Tannehill. Derrick Henry is Derrick Henry. I think it's be close. I see like a field goal. Could be like a 23-21 game. Could be a 27-25 game. It's going to be close, right? But I give the edge to Indy, right? Like, because I don't think people are paying attention to them yet. And they were a playoff team last year, and they pretty much have the exact same team back. So they have a new quarterback. Took them a second to find some continuity and gel a little bit, but I think that I think they have the horses to keep up and win this game.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Colts are going to win this game. They both have a top 10 running game. But the defense on the Colts side of the ball is a little bit better than on the Titans. And if I had to go pound for pound better quarterback, Carson Wentz, not only do I think he was a better quarterback than Tannehill at the beginning of the season, I think that the longer he's been in his Frank Reich system, the better he's gotten. And we still haven't seen the best of Carson Wentz this year yet. So if you match the quarterback play toe to toe, they both have good running games. So Derrick Henry's Derrick Henry, but the Colts have a pretty good running game also, and the Colts have a better defense. I think when you bring all of those variables into play, I think it's going to be a squeaker, but I think the Colts are going to get away with a win, and the Eagles sadly will be closer to getting that number one pick that they were hoping for.
They opened up the season with each other. I didn't realize that. This is the second time they're playing each other. Tennessee beat them in Tennessee.
What was that score?
25-16.
The one thing I would say that is I think both teams are playing better now than they were then too.
So the Colts since that week one, they put up 27, 25, 31, and 30. So they're putting more points on the board than they did that first week. And I don't know if Tennessee's playing better than they did in week one. Derrick Henry might be.
Does Tennessee have any players other than Derrick Henry?
What's that?
Does Derrick play? Shouldn't we just rename them the Tennessee Derrick Henrys? Do they have the running Henrys? Come on. Anyway,
they lost to the Jets.
Yeah, losing to the Jets. Teams still make the playoffs when they lose to the Jets. The Browns did that last year. Anyway, speaking of the Jets, they got the Bengals in New York. The only chance I'd give the Jets in this game is this has letdown game written all over it. And as you just said, they jumped up and bit the Titans. I think the Bengals are better than the Titans right now. I think that the Bengals have a better defense than the Titans. So, I don't see a way the Jets win this. I think Joe Burrow has another 300 50 plus yard passing game. I think Jamar Chase is good for 150 and a touchdown or two. And I just think they have too much firepower for the Jets to keep up with. I don't even know who the starting quarterback for the Jets is going to be this week because Zach Wilson got injured last week. And the second biggest player I know on the Jets is Zach Wilson's mom, and I don't think she's going to be doing much. So I take the Bengals in this game. Something's going to be, as much as I would like to see it as a Browns fan, the Bengals are going to win this and move to 6-2.
Yeah. The Jets have the worst running game in the league, damn near the worst passing game in the league. I don't even know what to say about Zach Wilson. He looked real good in preseason. This ain't preseason. He has not looked well. The only thing the Jets have going for them is okay defense, but that's still not going to be enough to help them to win this game. And it doesn't matter that they're at home. They might as well be playing in Cincinnati. This won't even be an enjoyable watch. So I don't know. They'll probably win by 2 touchdowns or better in this game. I got the Bengals.
I think there's no way the Bengals win this game. It's my boy Mark.
What's up, Mark?
There's no way the Bengals win this game at all. Right? It's or lose this game rather. They just
I was about to say, what was
this is the hot take I'm here for.
The hell did Mark walk in there with?
There is no way in hell that the Jets are winning this game. It's just not going to happen. And I think Jamar Chase has another big game. He's looking like a freak of nature
already.
And not for nothing, Cincinnati has a good defense. So enough said on this game. It's 11-point spread. I think that if the spread is over 9, that we don't talk more than 30 seconds. It's my new rule.
So speaking of spreads that I haven't looked at, but they're probably over 9. Next game is the Rams at Texans. The Rams have a surprisingly easy schedule. They just beat up on the Lions, and now they're playing the Texans. So good for them.
16,
Rams
by the
roll.
way. 16.
What?
16.
Yeah, Rams roll. Nothing else to say.
Rams all day.
Texans are in trouble.
Texans been in trouble.
Cooper Kupp is on a historic pace right now. We're gonna let that one sit for another week or two, but it's something to keep an eye on, right?
Well, before the season, just for my fantasy team, just to take it, I wanted him, and in every mock draft I was getting him, and then in both my leagues drafting, he got scooped up like in the second or third, like way before he was in the mock drafts. So good on whoever got him. He's having a great year. Next, I see Eagles at Lions.
Woo! Thank God. Depends on who we see, though, to be honest, right? I don't know who the Eagles are. They should win this game, right? Hands down. But I could also see Detroit playing sneaky good, especially on defense. So could go anyway. I got Philly at 3.5 in Detroit. So I'm going to say Philly wins this game.
Yeah, I'll do you one better. Outside of Jeff Goff and Swift, I can't really name Lions players right now. Matt Stafford said their back end's playing pretty well, which for what that's worth. That being said, Eagles by a touchdown.
You can't name a Lions player so much that you called him Jeff Goff and not Jared Goff.
There we go. See, that's where we're at.
I think
It's cool. It's cool. Atticus said Bridgewater got traded to Detroit. That's not right either. So
it was Denver.
Oh, Denver. Did I say Detroit?
You did.
Yeah, you said Detroit. But
Wow. What was I thinking?
It's an Aikman effect, I think.
Yeah. So I think that by all accounts, the Eagles should win this game. The Lions have, how many heartbreakers can you lose in one season? I mean, really, these guys, they play really hard week in, week out. Their defense has not helped them. They're at the bottom of the barrel. And I think they're 27th in the league, their defense. And I think this is the week that Sirianni finally remembers that running plays are for running backs. And he gets, I don't know, he calls plays that offers at least, if the Eagles run the ball 20 times or more, they should win this game. I can't trust Sirianni to do that, though.
Who's running the ball, though? Sanders isn't running, but I'll give it to Gainwell. Boston Scott's got to be in there. And I think they activated Jordan Howard. Get the
Gainwell could run against them.
I think that, listen, I think that you guys have a decent enough line to open up holes no matter which running back is there.
Right.
And the play action and the RPOs that you can do with Jalen Hurts will open up so many opportunities. What a bunch of wasted play time. And I can't even understand what's happening in Philadelphia. With that being said, Philly should win, but I would not be surprised.
I won't be surprised
if the Lions sneak one away. And this is going to be my upset game right here. I think the Lions are going to get their first win against the Eagles, and it won't be because of the teams. It's going to be because of coaching. I think Sirianni is a disaster.
I'm not even mad at you, Atticus, right? Because I'm not shocked. It will not shock me. I need a surrogate team, though, until they find a new coach.
I will say this, and
I think we lost Chris. Wasn't the Lions the team that you guys played in a blizzard and Shady went off?
Went off.
It was the Lions, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think they forgot about that. Y'all destroyed
Foles went off in that game too.
Yeah.
I think we've lost to the Lions when we weren't supposed to.
Yeah.
Many times. Not just once. I'm talking a few times. And it was always Calvin. It was always Megatron. Megatron killed the Eagles every time they played them.
God, what an athlete, huh? Listen, he retired before his time, but I'm not mad at him.
I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he still has a lot of years on his life, and he didn't want to give his whole life to football. And I respect that. So I think both you and Chris picked Philly. Or did he pick yet? I don't think he did.
No, he didn't pick yet.
Oh.
Did not pick yet. That game in the snow was one of the best games I've ever seen, though.
That was incredible.
If I was a Detroit fan, I wouldn't be saying that. But like as a Philly fan, like that is one of the best games I've ever fucking seen. Didn't
Shady have like 200 rushing yards or something?
He went nuts. It was like he was made to run in the snow. He hurdled people.
Had Pirellis on, not cleats.
Yeah. It was excellent.
Yeah, I remember that game. You couldn't even see it on TV. You were like, what the hell's happening right now?
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Well, let's keep going.
Yeah. Okay.
So next up, let me just see which games we've done already. That.
We still have Pittsburgh, San Fran.
We'll wait on Pittsburgh we'll wait to see if he gets back on. San Fran and the Bears. It's a 4-point spread, so I guess we could spend some time talking about this, but do we need to? I don't know. Well, the Niners are 2-4, man. They're banged up.
But their defense.
Banged up.
Is solid.
But they're
I don't know.
up.
This is a toss-up because of the injury situation out there. I mean, who do you go with on this one?
I don't even know. I mean, my brain wants to say 49ers, right? But my brain's also saying maybe Justin Fields has a different kind of game, right? Maybe something different happens in this game. I I mean, to me, I mean, they got San Fran winning this 60% of the time. Consensus pick. Those are pretty good favorable odds for San Fran. So I guess I'm gonna go with the experts on this one. I mean, my brain was saying
The
San
upset.
Fran anyway.
I mean, could you call this one an upset if it swings in the other direction?
Uh,
Yeah, depends on which team shows up, like you said, who's healthy enough to suit up on game day and how many plays you can get out of them. Justin Fields is still in his rookie campaign. They're still giving him new plays to try to do. And on the San Francisco side of the ball, what's the kid's name that they traded up to get? Trey
Lance.
Trey Lance. Is he going to be starting this week? Are we going to see two rookie quarterbacks going head to head?
Well, Lance been hurt because who were they playing? Was it Philly that they played? No. 17. Who did they play last week? Arizona? Indianapolis in the rain. And it was a really rainy game. And it was nasty. So it was so bad that Garoppolo, like his last pass attempt in the game, like fluttered out of his hand because he just lost the grip. And they were talking about, had Trey Lance been healthy, would he have been a difference in this kind of game, right? Where he could still use his legs to make plays. So, I mean, I think they're still thinking about bringing him back. I think Garoppolo had like 4 interceptions in the game. To be honest, he had a bad game.
Yeah, I still think that San Francisco is probably the better team. They're definitely better coached. I think Nagy's on his way out. I'm going to have to go with the 49ers also.
I agree.
I think they're better than the 2-4 record that they're boasting right now.
All right. Did that one. Bengals, Jets, we did. Rams, Texans. Patriots, Chargers.
Patriots have won 3 games, but they won 3 games against teams they were supposed to beat. They've beat nobody who is a 500 team or better. And the Chargers are just a really good team this year. I don't know that there's a whole lot of time that's necessary to be spent on this game because quarterback position, who's better? Definitely the Chargers. Mac Jones is going to be a decent quarterback.
Yeah.
He's not going to make his mark this year, though. Defensively, the Chargers definitely have a better defense. And then the running game, it looks like they're pretty similar in terms of where they rank for rushing yards per game. But I think if you have to measure it between who would you trust the ball to get you that last touchdown to win the game, I'm going Herbert over Mac Jones all day.
Yeah, they put 54 up on the Jets. You're muted, Chris. They put 54 up on the Jets. They're not putting 54 up on the Chargers. Chargers were embarrassed last time out against Baltimore. Maybe that's a strong word, right? But they were held in check. They're not going to be held in check. They're playing, Herbert's back home in Los Angeles, and in the sunny weather where he's going to play well. They're going to have a good game. I got Chargers all day here.
So my takes were so hot that Liesl threw off the internet. So that's what happened right there. That being said, I'll just jump in on this and I won't take up too much time. This is actually my upset pick of the week. Patriots over Chargers. I know the Chargers are coming off a bye, but the Patriots played the Jets last week, which is about as close to playing a bye as you can. And Bill Belichick just has a way of taking away the top weapon, who for the Chargers would be Mike Williams. And when Williams doesn't do well, the Chargers don't seem to do as well. And you were right to say they were embarrassed. They lost 30-something to 6. So that wasn't like close. They were more than held in check. It's just my upset pick of the week. I think the Patriots win by a field goal.
Okay. All right. Let's keep it moving. That's a bold statement.
I'm going to assume you didn't talk about Brown Steelers while I was off. So
Of course we did.
I call that one.
Of course we did. Jags Seahawks. We're saving that. We'll get to it. Jags Seahawks.
Oh, he's frozen again.
He is frozen again.
Oh, wow.
Whew. Who would have thought the Seahawks would be 2-5? I'll tell you what. Ooh. I'm going to go with an upset here.
Jaguars
I'm going to go Jaguars in
coming off a
Seattle.
bye.
I'm going for some reason. I think if they were going to win another game this season, it's this game.
Mm.
I just have that crazy feeling. Trevor is a better quarter than Geno Smith, right? Like, let's call that what it is. There's no Russell Wilson. Their defense is still banged up a little bit. Seattle's only getting 3.5 at home, which is a sneaky line, right? It's just a sneaky line. So even the experts are kind of like a pickle. You know, I think the Jags win this game.
Yeah, I think that if there's a game the Jaguars could win, it would be this one, but I don't think they will. I think that Pete Carroll is too savvy of a coach to allow his team to continue to slide the way that it is. And they've been in every game. And they've lost where they could have won had one or two plays gone in a different direction. Right. And while I agree with you, Trevor Lawrence is a better quarterback than Geno Smith. Geno Smith has been playing well, and he's been a backup in Seattle for 3 or 4 years now. He knows that system. He knows it well, and he has not looked bad. I think that while it won't be a blowout, it's certainly going to be the game where the Seahawks finally get a win without Russell. Why can't I think of his Russell Wilson under center?
They have to.
And not for nothing, the Jaguars are a mess. Outside of Trevor Lawrence, everything else about the Jaguars is a mess.
They have that one running back that's all right.
Robinson.
Yeah, but I mean, the organization I'm talking about.
Right.
Just a mess.
Well, Pete Carroll's a better coach than Urban Meyer. So
it's down. And
I mean,
he does his lap dance.
Sirianni might be a better coach than Urban Meyer.
Whew, that's a bold statement, man. You've been drinking that wine off the rack from 7-Eleven? Jesus.
As opposed to the guy getting finances from not his wife. Anyway, Bucks at Saints. You guys gone over that? I know I'm sure I missed one, so I'm just naming off the next game I see.
We did not. So
Bucks at Saints. I think the Bucks roll. They just got too much going. They got too much mojo right now, and I just don't think the Saints are another team I don't really know what they're doing. There's a lot of teams this year that I can't tell you what they do well, and the Saints are one of them. I mean, unless Winston wants to drink whatever he drank before the Green Bay game, I don't see the Saints even keeping this one close.
I don't know how the Saints are 4-2, but they are. But I still don't think that that's enough for the Bucks. I think that they'll keep this one tight because division games usually work out that way. But Tom Brady is playing on a whole nother level, and the level of play of his teammates have been elevated based on his play. And their defense, while it was slow, off to a really slow start this year, I think they've picked up pretty well. So I'm taking the Bucks.
So, I mean, Tom Brady's a machine right now. He's a machine. He's on a gaudy pace. He's already got almost 2,300 yards in about a third of the season. So he's on pace for over 6,000 yards and 50 touchdowns, maybe 60. That's insane. I don't know. I agree. I don't know how the Saints are 4-2. And we should probably spend more time talking about this game. But I mean, Saints got to show me something different. And I don't think they do against Tampa Bay. Brady's he's got an elephant's brain too. He doesn't forget shit. He got embarrassed by New Orleans last year in New Orleans. He doesn't. He's liable to go the fuck off.
Start him if you got him in fantasy. So not to rush through these last few games, but I do have to kind of get going here soon because we got that reservation I was telling you guys about. So we'll do the Giants, Chiefs, Browns, Steelers, and then we'll just kind of lightning the rest, the last three. I don't know if you guys talked.
There is no last two. It's just the Cowboys, Vikings, Broncos, Redskins. I got Broncos, and I got Cowboys. That's me.
Yeah, Cowboys, and I'll say Washington. Actually, I'll say Washington.
Okay. I think we should save the Browns, Steelers for last, and go with the Knicks and Chiefs.
I'm actually, I was thinking a lot about this Cowboys Vikings game. And, you'll get a different Kirk Cousins from week to week. You'll get a week where he looks like Tom Brady's big brother. And then another week where he looks like Geno Smith. I just think that there are times when he performs pretty well and you never know when it's going to be. But if I'm going to pick an upset this week, I'm going to take the Vikings over the Cowboys this week. Broncos in Washington. We're going to zoom through these. Is that what we're doing? Lightning round?
Yeah.
Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that the Broncos are going to beat Washington. I think Washington came in to this season with a whole lot of hype around them, thinking that they were going to win a division. And then the real Washington whatchamafuck showed up, and we're seeing what you see. I think they made a mistake from the very beginning with bringing Fitzpatrick in and thinking he was going to lead them to the promised land. Not that I don't like Fitzpatrick, I do, but you can just see based on some of the moves that they're making that it's not an organization that makes good judgment calls on what they should do. I'm taking the Broncos in that one.
I mean, Heineke's not even playing that bad, right?
He's not.
Outside of McLaurin, they don't have another receiver. And
McLaurin's been very up and down. Like some games he'll play great, other games he disappears.
Yeah. Agreed. Should we move on to the Chiefs and Knicks?
Chiefs Knicks, yeah.
Guys, I actually have to get going. I have a hard stop. I have to get going.
Okay. We'll see you later, brother.
Browns, Steelers, who you got?
Oh, I got the Browns. We need it. We have to win this one. We control our own destiny. If we win this one, we can then tie the Bengals for first place in the division the following week. The Browns are getting healthy. Something to keep in mind, and it's in Cleveland. We'll see what happens when we're back in Pittsburgh, but for this time around, I got the Browns.
All right.
Sorry, guys. I got to bail. I'll catch you later.
Have a good dinner at that mystery place.
Bye, Liesel.
They're gone.
Yep. Take it easy, guys.
All right. Toss up.
I think the Steelers win the game.
I do too.
I really do. I mean, Cleveland's defense is playing really well, but so is the Steelers, right? And I think that Ben found his legs after the first couple of weeks where he, just looked god awful.
He had to,
and he's playing better, and I just think that the Steelers win this game. I just don't, Odell Beckham Jr. is hurt and Landry's hurt. They both might play, but they're both hurt. And that's big time. You can't expect what's his name, their tight end and Njoku to have a good game.
No.
Every week. You can't expect that. And I think the Steelers have the defense to contain that.
I mean, if you look at the advantages Cleveland has, quarterback position, Ben Roethlisberger is still a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, I think, is just a game manager. Running game, the running game definitely favors the Cleveland Browns, even down to their third string. Not that Najee Harris is anything to sneeze about. He's a pretty good running back, but I still think that pound for pound, the Browns have the better running game. Defensively, it's a toss-up. They both have a pretty good defense. And then it boils down to what? Coaching, right? I'm not even going to talk about specials. Specials are specials, but did you see the interview with Mike Tomlin last week?
I did not, but I'm a Mike Tomlin fan.
Oh my God. He lost his mind on the media, and he was justified in doing so. He gave a master class on how to shut down bullshit that seeps into the media room when you're doing these press conferences. And the way he presented himself was one of those moments where he's going to come out and back up what he showed you at that press conference in the next game. I don't see the Steelers losing this game. I don't. And then when your team sees your coach shut shit down the way he shut it down, and I'll give you the gist of it. A reporter asked him, so Mike, there's this rumor going around that you're going to be taking a look at the head coaching job with USC. And he was like, see, I don't have time for this. I'm paraphrasing. He said, why would I want to do something like that? I think one of the greatest franchises in all of sports. Would you ask Sean McVay that? Would you ask that to Andy Reid? You asking me that? I can't even. He said, I'm tell you what, don't ask me that now. Don't ask me that tomorrow. Don't ask me that ever. And then he paused. Right? He said, he said something to the effect of, I don't want to ever hear about this again. And then he got up and he left. Answered no, but I'm doing it in a terrible way. The way he did it was perfect. So, and I know that sometimes you could say that these things have nothing to do with the play on the field and all. Listen,
they have everything to do with the play on the field. Everything.
He's going to coach his ass off this week. Chris, my boy, but his team is not going to fare well this weekend.
I concur.
Yep.
So we're going to wind it up with the Monday night game.
Knicks, Chiefs. I think this is the get right game for Kansas City, to be honest with you.
I think
I'll say though, I think that because you got to look at all aspects of the game, right? You just do. I think we have a better defense than Kansas City. I think everybody has a better defense than Kansas City.
I agree.
But I just don't see the Chiefs being this bad for too much longer. The problem is usually when the defense is playing well, the offense is not. And the offense is playing well, the defense is not. Neither one of them have played well. Neither unit has played well. And Andy Reid's too good of a coach for this to continue. Patrick Mahomes is too good of a quarterback for this to continue. They have a lot of weapons in Kansas City that cannot be ignored or overlooked. And you just got to know, I don't care who you're a fan of, you just got to know that Patrick Mahomes going to wake up. That offense is going to wake up and they're going to do some stuff. And when they do it, it won't be what it used to be, but they're going to show you who they were. And I think this is the game that they do that.
I mean, you're spot on with what I was going to say, right? Like the Giants are in trouble, right, this week. Like, I still think that Kansas City is going to miss the playoffs. I think they're looking at 9-8, like legitimately. But this isn't the week, right? Like this week is like, and it might be close. It might be close, but like, I don't trust the Giants coaching staff enough yet. When your leading rusher is your quarterback, i.e. the Philadelphia Eagles in the same boat, Daniel Jones is a leading rusher, right? Like your quarterback can't be your leading rusher. Just can't be. That just puts your quarterback in too many bad situations.
I think the same thing with Josh Allen, though, isn't it?
I don't think he's the leading rusher for them.
Okay.
You know, they got a couple decent backs. I'll look that up while I'm spewing. I think that I think they're going to game plan wrong. I think Tyreek Hill is going to get loose this week. You know, he's been contained for like 2 or 3 weeks now. It's time for him to get loose.
Yeah.
You know, like 11 catches, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns. You know, and that's the game, right? Like when he cuts the field off, like he doesn't even need to score a touchdown. He gets 50, 60, 70 yards on a reception. Like he's shortening the field. And you know, when you have Kelsey in the red zone.
And Ertz now.
No, he's on Arizona.
Oh shit. My bad. Go ahead.
So it's just I don't see it, right? And you know, I gotta go.
Not for nothing. The Giants are heavily injured too.
Yeah, it's
They got
9.5.
receivers.
It's 9.5. So we're
Is
going
it?
like 35-24. I think it's closer than that. I think the Giants beat the spread. Like I could see a 40-30 game. You know, 42-35, 42-31, something like that.
Yo.
Yeah.
No.
All right. 2 minutes.
Okay.
And then yeah, but I don't know. It's just I don't see it. So
Yeah, I don't either.
I see everybody's gonna be back on the Kansas City bandwagon after this week. Be like, oh,
And-
they're
and
back.
I'll just add one more nugget to this. The Giants are historically bad on Monday Night Football. I think their record is like 2-12 or some ridiculously low percentage of wins when it comes to night games. It is horrible. So if they win, I'll be happy. I don't see it happening though. So
All
all right, brother. Well, you have a good night and we'll catch back up after the weekend.
there it is, man. Have a good one, man.
All right, you too.
All right,
All right, bye.
later.